some random guy found on LinkedIn. I spoke to him. He's like, he's gonna do it free. He doesn't want to take any money.
Guys, please mute your mics. Otherwise, it will be difficult for the guys to continue this one. Right, guys, I think I'm visible to you and also audible to you. Can somebody confirm whether I'm audible and visible to you all?
Yes, audible and visible.
Okay, thank you. Right, before to start this session, I want to give you a small the first thing is please mute your mics and also off your camera. Otherwise, it will be a disturbance to the others. And the next thing is I will recommend you to have some notes while you are listening to this one, because this is not just academic training or academic or what we are calling cookie session. This is like that. This is completely industrial training. Normally, the Indians, they are doing this type of industrial training to their colleagues, but in Sri Lanka, I have never seen like the industrial training to the other parallel guys. So before to move to the further things, I will just give a small overview of me, because the SLIT guys, they know about me, but many of the other guys, they do not know anything about me. So I'm a research assistant in Carnegie Mellon University. That means it's distant wisely, I'm doing that research assistant part. Carnegie Mellon University is one of the top universities in USA. So you will be asking why this type of free sessions and why I'm dedicated to you for giving this type of my knowledge. One thing is knowledge sharing is one of the good thing, but that is not the major thing. Because while I'm doing this one, I got one of the offers from Ivy League colleges in USA. You may have heard about the Princeton University. I got offer from that university for the fall intake to do an undergraduate degree. You will be asking why again undergraduate degree, because I will be feeling like the Sri Lankan undergraduate curriculum is not that enough for me. Therefore, I will do another undergraduate degree. So to get into a USA university was a very tedious task and a very difficult task, but I got that offer. But I'm not that satisfied with the Princeton University as well, because I want to try for the other best universities also. So the knowledge sharing will be giving me added advantage. So I will be I think that's enough about me. So we'll move to the lesson. Before to start the lesson, I want to emphasize you something. Yeah. And guys, don't call me as sir, because if you're calling me as sir, I will be feeling like a little embarrassed. So don't call me like that way. You can just call me by my name. Okay, that's okay. Okay, right. And now, before to explain the machine learning parts, I want to tell you how to become a machine learning expert. So the first thing is the industry is driven by the one power called the power of imagination. I think it's better to mute your mics, guys, because we are running with the time, because this 2 hours means that is a golden time for all of us. Therefore, I am running with that time. Therefore, please give your support by muting your mics. Right? The industry, it is driven by one power that is called the power of imagination. This power of imagination means it is a combination of your creativity and the out-of-box thinking. And how to develop this power of imagination so that you have another three powers. One thing is called the power of attention. That means when you are listening to this type of training or session, you want to get the notes. Okay, not like the normal academic way. You have to carefully listen and you have to get the notes wherever it is necessary. And the second thing is the power of reading. I have seen that our reading ability is very much less. But if we consider about the USA or the UK guys, they are reading a lot. As an example, I have put several posts to our group, but many of guys, they didn't read the important parts of that one. And again, they are asking the questions. So you have to develop your reading capability. Okay, power of reading, power of attention, and the next thing is the power of discipline. Okay, right? Those three things you have to develop, and all of those things, those three combinations also we can put it to one single container. That container is the power of now. That means whatever you want to do, you want to do it now. That means it is if you are not listening to this session, and if you are thinking like I will be listening to the recording because it will be available in the YouTube, so I can listen. That means you are procrastinating and you are putting away your efforts. Okay, that doesn't work. So whatever you are doing, you want to do those things now, right? Those are the prerequisites for this thing, and you want to allocate your time. All the other things I will be doing, because I will tell you, I will teach you whatever the things I know. Okay, all those things that I know, I will teach you. So we'll move to the our presentation. I feel like is this visible to you guys? This presentation, can somebody confirm?
Yes, brother.
Yeah, right. Is that visible? Is that visible, guys? Slides?
Yes, visible.
Hello. Are you there? Is this visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can see.
In the first slide, this is the 25-day series. I have already uploaded the syllabus to you. I think you have gone through that one. So if you have gone through this one, all the things which are available here is the machine learning techniques. When in the academy wisely, when we are learning machine learning, what our procedure is, we are following the algorithms. But just following the algorithm means you are not getting the fully touched with the implementation, because now one of the mistake, one of the weak point that I have witnessed from our guys, they are browsing from the YouTube. They can get the resources. After that, they can build up machine learning models, but the basics and the why it is implemented like that way. That means this architecture of all of those things, the basic ingredients, they didn't get properly. So to get those things, we want to know the product life cycle. That means that is the industrial life cycle, and also the machine learning techniques. There are some techniques we want to follow. Okay, there are all of those things. All these machine learning is it has a connection with all of these cycles. That means it is a step-by-step methodology. If you follow that step-by-step methodology, you can easily implement, and you can without losing your efforts, you can do your implementation. And I will instruct you, I will teach you all the entire flow of the machine learning. And also when there is a new scenario, how do we plan that one? So how do we implement those things? And when there is a scenario, what will be the best scenario for this problem? How can we understand like that way? All of those things I will be explaining. After that, you can become a machine learning expert. become a machine learning expert because we are teaching only 2 hours or 3 hours here. When there is implementation, it will be last up to like 4 hours. But there is a gap between 6 days. Those 6 days you have to practice. Okay, by practicing only you can develop that one. Okay, some of guys asked why cannot we compact this one within 25 continuously and do it. The one problem is I also have a lot of work, and the second thing is if you do like that way, you are just covering up that one only. You are not actually learning. You have to be active learner to become a machine learning expert. I will give an example about these things. Now I think many of you are associate data scientists and somewhere below the ML engineer. Okay, I will tell you how to become, what is the way of becoming an ML engineer. If we, now this is one of the email that I have shown to Sinhala Medium guys as well. This is the TikTok company. Now TikTok is announced for a data scientist. I will tell you, if you want to apply for this type of position, what are the skill set you should have? Because normally just finishing your degree or having first class or doing some kind of projects, you can't apply for these things. The basic information, all of those things are there, but the most important thing is this work experience and this internship experience. That thing you all will be having, but most important thing is this project experience. If you click this project experience, you can say you have to write your name, project name and the project title, and the most important thing is what is the start and end date. Now suppose like by having a data set from the Kaggle, okay, and they have the full explanation of the implementing the projects also there. By copy pasting that code, you can do implementation by within 1 hour. But it is, if you have done like that way, they can easily understand whether it is a project done by you or not. And also, you can't do a project which is done by somebody else. You have to do some kind of change. That means you have to have a gap. Okay, you have to add some features or you have to do some modification. And the next important thing is project URL also you have to include. That means if you have done a project and it is run in the local host, that never give you a credit. Okay, whatever you have implemented, you have to give the access to the others as well. That means you have to deploy it in a centralized server. That means you have to basically you have to host that one in a cloud environment. Okay, so by considering all of those things, they will understand whether this person has seriously engaged this one and whether he is having the real ability of implementation of the project. So we will be explaining end to end how to develop end-to-end project and deploy it in a cloud environment as well. We in this 25 days we will be doing several projects. Okay, but all of those things we are starting from the scratch. So I think you got those points, and this is the intermediate level. Intermediate level means anything above the associate ML engineer thing. Right. Okay, guys, then we'll move to what is this machine learning. Okay, basic understanding. You don't want to memorize anything there because we are not going to do an exam here, because we are going to learn this one. ML means, machine learning means, that means the basic thing is you are allowing computer to learn from data. You are allowing computer to learn from data. Okay, so machine learning is a field of computer science. It is a field of computer science. And if I ask you, what is the most important module in machine learning or the data science, that is the best answer should be statistics. Okay, if you want to become ML expert, okay, I think we have several guys in several universities, but all of you have a module called the statistics or the probability. You have to have a thorough knowledge of that one to become a ML expert. And also you have to have some kind of knowledge related to linear algebra and relevant mathematical concepts like topology, like that way. Because in many of the positions like ML engineer, data scientist, those positions, they have asked for a mathematics degree or statistics degree or computer science degree. That means anybody who is related to mathematical background, they feel like they can touch this position, right? That means, guys, machine learning is a field of computer science which uses statistical methodology and giving the ability to a computer to learn from data. Okay, and the most important thing is we are not programming anything. Now you know that the software engineering, to become a software engineer, you should have a thorough knowledge of doing coding. If you can't code, okay, you can't become a software engineer, because coding is the most important part in the software engineering. But here in machine learning, coding is not our major element. You have to have some kind of coding knowledge, but it is not the major part. Major part is the analyzing. Analyzing means you have to have the knowledge of statistics. You have to identify the patterns of the data. Okay, to all of those things we are allowing to automatical process. Okay, so we are not doing any coding. We have to understand about the algorithms and the techniques. We have to understand about the algorithm and the techniques. And what we are doing, we are giving a data set, and in machine learning we are allowing the machine to understand about the features of the data set. And after that, the machine will learn from those features and they will release a program. They give us rules. Okay, they are not giving output. They are making a program. Okay, so that program can do some predictions. Okay, we are calling that program as a model. Okay, there are several types of model. We will be coming to what are those models after finishing several stages. Right. So guys, am I fast? Because in Sinhala medium, I was going in a very much slow way. In English medium, is that fast? You have to give the feedback. Otherwise, I will be going in my normal way. Tell me, guys. Is this difficult to you to handle the things? Should I go not fast? Not fast, yeah, Isha? Yeah, it's fine. Guys, not Nipuna. Right, okay. Right. Simple words, I told that machine learning means learning from data. Okay, I will make what we call, I will feel like I'm going a little bit fast, so I will slow down. Okay, right. There is no explicitly programming is included. That means you do not want to code something. You do not want to code something. Okay, whatever you want to do, you want to give a data set. Okay, data set. Okay, then guys, machine learning means data plus the algorithm. There are predefined algorithms. Okay, we will be using those algorithms. As an example, scikit-learn. Scikit-learn means it's the library which includes many what we call algorithms. Okay, and also TensorFlow means it is a library which is having deep learning algorithms. Okay, like that, we are having libraries. By using those libraries, we can easily implement the model. Okay. So what we are learning, how to do those things, how to get into those things. Okay. Those are the way we are learning. The marking is automatically going because this is a what we call the machine learning class. Okay, the automatical process is there, but you want to do two things. One thing is this is live stream. Okay, live streaming. Okay, after finishing this one, okay, you can put a comment, but not a single comment in the YouTube, because if it is a single comment, your comment is rejected. And also give a like. By using those comments, we have built up a model that is 92% accuracy, but that is from the past data. We have to check it with this sessions also, how is the accuracy of that one. But so far I can say that it has some kind of accuracy. So whatever you want to do, you have to, this is here, this is live streaming, because we can't get the attendance from the Zoom because we didn't figure out that one yet. That thing will be automatically gaining from the people who are watching this from the YouTube. Their attendance will be marked with the like and the what we call the comment. Okay, if you done, if you have just put like done, great, those things will be rejected. Okay, something meaningful thing you want to put, and also put a like. Okay, those are the things you want to do. And here, guys, those who are lively participated in the Zoom also, you just go to the YouTube because I have asked you to subscribe that one. There, put a like and also put at least 2 words. Okay, but don't put something which is not give a meaning. Something. Okay, then we can identify you. Okay, right. Guys, so guys, machine learning means it is data plus algorithm. We are allowing them to have algorithm. Top of the algorithm, that data is available, that data set. By using that data and the algorithm, we are building up a model. By having that model, we can figure out the patterns. As an example, after implementing this model, you do not want to again do the same, not doing anything. You can validate the model by using new data. Okay, it will give the results for new data. But in traditional programming, what will be happening? If you if you make a program for one statement or one problem, okay, if you enhance this problem, or if the problem is having some modifications, again you want to do the programming. That means all those skills is on the programmer's hand. Okay, that means all the logic is belong to program. But in machine learning, only once you want to do the things. Okay, after building the model, it will be automatically processed for the new data. Okay, you do not want to again and again redo the same thing. Okay, therefore we are allowing machine to learn and machine to do the results. Okay, so I have explained it here. If we give a new data to the model, it gives a output accordingly. Okay, right. That means after building the model, if we give new data, what will happen? It will give the output. So to explain you, I have made a very simple scenario. Okay, this is like now to add 2 numbers. Okay, to add 2 numbers, we can easily do a small program, but that addition will allow only for those 2 numbers. Okay, but if you put 3-4 numbers, what will happen? You want to redo the program part again and again. Okay, so like here I have taken like 20 records here, and I have taken XY numbers, and I'm getting the sum here. Just I have written this one 112 224. Okay, and after that let me do this one. Yeah, this is the complete model that I have done here. So you can figure out these things. Okay, we will be explaining these things, how to implement these things. So this is the final thing. Okay, if I run this one, you are getting this interface. Okay, so now only 20 records I have used, but here if you give another number like this way, it will give the result here, right? 639 527, like that. Okay, it will give the results for any numbers, and if the number patterns, the features are increased also, it is automatically learning and it will give the result. But in traditional programming, you can't do like that way. For the features will, if the features are increased, you want to again program and do the things. That is a small scenario. Right, again we'll back to the lesson. Right, guys. Okay, guys, the summarization between traditional programming and the machine learning. Traditional programming, guys, you are giving the data. Data means the input, and also you want to provide the program. That is the most important thing is you are giving the data and you are providing the program. And then what the machine is doing, it gives the output. Okay, by you helping the program, it will give the output. But in machine learning, you are giving the data set. Data means you are giving the data set. Not only this, data means just input. Input and output both. Input and output we are calling as the data set. Now here is a data set. Why is that? This is input. X and Y are inputs. This sum is the output. This whole data set you are providing. You have to give the whole data set. Okay. Right, then data and output is you are providing, and also here you want to put the certain algorithm. After that, it will be giving you a program. This program is the what we called as the model. This program is the model. After having this model, you can check it for new records. Okay, it will give the results for the new records. Okay. In the traditional program, you give the data, you give the program, and you build the logic. You are the person who is building the logic there. Okay. Then the output will be generated, right? I think you guys understood that one. You give the data, you are giving the program. That means you are building the logic, and the output will be generated. Okay. Then shall I what we call do like this? Right. Okay. Now it is the whole screen is available. Right. Now in machine learning, I will put me somewhere here. Right. In machine learning, what we are doing, you give the data. That means you are providing the both input and the output. That means total data set you are providing. But you do not build a program. That means you are not building the logic. You are not supposed to build the logic. Okay. Logic is automatically generated. The most important thing is logic is automatically generated. Okay. Machine learning means machine is building the logic. That is one way you can understand. Machine is building the logic. So you do not want to, you do not write the code for each and every case. Okay. You do not want to write each and every case, because in software engineering, we are for by case we want to follow up. Okay. If you go the raw coding, okay, in the framework or the design patterns, you will be making it easy, but there are also the inside process is what the case by case you want to code. Okay, it is, but in machine learning, what will be happening? But the logic is automatically generated. I have explained this small scenario like the adding two numbers. That was the thing what we have discussed there. Okay, to add in this type of scenarios for each cases you want to program. So if you take like two numbers, it won't give the answers for like 3-4 numbers. Okay, 3-4 numbers. What you want to do? You want to redo the program. Okay, but in ML, if we provide a data set and if we get a result and if we build a model, okay, by using that model, you can allow the machine learning model to learn and it will give a result. Right. Right. Machine learning scenarios. When we consider about the machine learning scenarios, there are a lot of scenarios. But from those lot of scenarios, we can figure out very important scenarios. Why this machine learning has come. The first one is these email classifiers. Okay, before to the invention of this machine learning technologies, email classification has done by the traditional programming. Okay, they are what they have done. They have used simple if-else statements, giant if-else statements they have used, and they have given some keywords. If this keyword has allowed, okay, if the subject is missed, then make it as spam, okay, like that. Okay, so for all of the cases, there are a lot of cases. Okay, they have a program, but if there is a new keyword allowed, it doesn't give the result. Okay, it doesn't give the result. And also when the data is very large, like the social media data, those are big data, very large data sets. So that is practically impossible. That's why we are calling this traditional programming is programming cannot be used for this type of email classification. Okay. So if we use traditional programming for email classification as spam or not spam, now one thing here, one important machine learning concept is one. Okay, this is called the classification, because spam and not spam. That means there are two categories. If we are allowing to have two categories, we can consider it as a classification problem. But one thing, you should not misunderstand with the clustering and the classification. I will explain that one. Now here, just understand the email classification. What we are doing, we are dividing into two parts, spam and not spam. Okay, so to have this thing automatically, okay, to have this thing automatically, you have to have machine learning techniques. Okay, if you use this traditional programming, you want to find the patterns manually. But if it is a very large data set, it is practically impossible to figure out the manual patterns. And also you want to build the logic for different words. But if there are new words, it is practically impossible. In machine learning, you want to build the logic only once. After building the model, it will automatically process the things. And the next thing is the image classification. Now, just imagine, guys, the simple scenario, dogs and cat classification. Okay, that is the very common image classification. Suppose like there are thousands or millions of dogs. You are giving like images of thousands or 10,000s or lakhs of images of dogs and lakhs of images of cats. After that, we are giving another cat which is not in that cat set or that dog set, a new one. If we ask traditional programming to classify, identify whether it is a cat or dog, it is practically impossible. How? Because if it is software engineering, you want to do a rule for that one also. Practically impossible. But in machine learning, okay, you can do it easily. And for this time, for this type of thing, dogs and cat classification, we are actually using deep learning. Deep learning means it is a subset of the machine learning. We are using a very famous neural network for this one. We are calling CNN, convolutional neural network. Okay, we are having one last project related to convolutional neural network. By using, we are doing complete end-to-end project by using the CNN, because this is only the machine learning, but before to finish the whole things, I want to give you the idea of the deep learning as well. So I will be having one complete day workshop of about deep learning, and there we will be doing this implementation. Right, the data analysis is not the machine learning. I want to explain about the data mining. But before to explain about the data mining, you want to understand about the data analysis. What is called this data analysis? The simplest way of understanding data analysis means identify the patterns by using the data plots. Okay, analysis means you are separating, identifying. Okay, identify the hidden patterns. Normally, you are using visualizing techniques. Some of the analysts guys are here. They know that the data analysis means you are using visual techniques. By using those visual techniques, you can identify the patterns. But in some cases, okay, in some cases, if the data is hidden deeply, you can't apply those simple visualization techniques. Okay, like data mining. Data mining means you want to figure out the deep hidden data. You want to figure out the deep hidden data. Normal analyzing methods, you can't figure out those things. So what we can do, we can use machine learning techniques, and after some extent, we can have the predictions. Okay, we can figure out, we can have some prediction. After that, we can identify the patterns of that one. Okay, there is a module for you called fundamental data mining. There you will be understanding about these things. Okay. Here we will be discussing all those techniques which is relevant to those things. Right, right, guys. So far I have discussed some things. Now this machine learning, the machine learning is developed very fast after like 2010. Okay, what is the reason? The main reason I can say that after 2010, like the Google developed the TensorFlow. Okay, Google developed TensorFlow. By having that library, you can easily implement the deep learning tasks. So that is one. But before that one also, what we call this machine learning is evolved. But this machine learning doesn't start from this 1990s. It has started from like 1900s. The machine learning concept. The first machine learning concept was, guys, principal component analysis. Okay, by using this principal component analysis, you can make two features into one single feature. Okay, we are calling it as dimensionality reduction. Okay, dimensionality means you are having a lot of features, guys. Having a lot of features in your data set is not that good, because some data points may be irrelevant points. Now you can suggest, if there are irrelevant points, why we are not removing that one? Perhaps it can be indirectly relevant to that one. So if you remove that one, the matching part from that feature will be losing. So your accuracy will be reduced. Okay. So by using this principal component analysis, what they are doing, you are having those two features. By taking those two features, you can make into one. Okay. That is the starting of the machine learning, according to my point of view. Okay. But like 90s, why this is evolved very fast these days? For these things, affordable hardware resources, internet speed, evolution of the algorithms, storage facility, and the cloud computing. Okay, like I'm when I'm explaining this concept, I'm always getting example from what we call the Bollywood. Okay, Bollywood guys, there is a actor called Nawazuddin Siddiqui. Yeah, this one. I believe that you haven't seen this guy. Okay, because you are familiar with Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Amitabh Bachchan, but this guy, the most important fact of this guy, he is not the hero level hero. That means he start from very scratch, very simple roles. After 2010, this person is becoming a very huge character. The reason is after 2000 guys, they didn't like the appearance of the actors. Okay, I believe like that. They seek for talent. This guy has an amazing talent. Because of that, this person blossomed after 2010. Okay, if you are watching movies, just browse Nawazuddin Siddique's movies and watch them, right? Okay, that will allow to reduce stress level. Okay, guys, right? Again, person, right? Like that way, the machine learning also evolved after 2000 because of these reasons: internet speed, affordable hardware resources. Those is the hardware resources are very expensive. Hardware resources means the processors, the RAM, those things, those are the storages, those are expensive. And those before like 2010, like, can you imagine 2010? Yeah, I can't remember that, but according to the books, 2010, the internet speed is very low. And guys, evolution of the algorithms, I told like TensorFlow. Okay, and PyTorch. PyTorch is developed by the Facebook, and the TensorFlow is developed by the Google. Okay, the evolution of the algorithms also developed after like 2000 in a very fast way, and also the storage facilities and the cloud computing. Those things evolve, so you can deal with the big data. Okay, so you don't want to store anything in your premises. You can deploy it in the cloud environment. Because of that, it make easy for the machine learning. So we call that thing as the paradigm shift of machine learning. And also, guys, something you want to learn about CPU, GPU, and TPU. CPU means the normal processor. You all are having the CPU, central processing unit, and GPU means the graphical processing unit. Available in most of the computers, and the tensor processing unit, TPU, that will be not having in your computers. We want to understand a little bit about these things. Okay, CPU means it is available in all computers, very versatile computers, very versatile processor like this small chip. That is the actually heart of the computer. Okay. But when you consider about the speed, this has an average speed. Okay, not like a high speed like the GPU or the TPU. And this is a general purpose processor. Okay, this is not specific to machine learning task. Okay, when you are doing some kind of machine learning by using only CPU, you'll be getting like the slowness and also not responding tasks. Those things will be having. Because of that, when you are doing like machine learning things with the CPU, we are normally using Google Colab. Okay, because this Google Colab, you can have a TPU. Okay, by having a TPU, you can efficiently do your tasks. Then we'll move to the GPU. GPU means the graphical processing unit. There, you can have the graphics very fast. When we see that rendering the graphics means the graphical things like the images. As an example, when you are dealing with image classification. Okay, having a GPU means it is a plus point because you can do the task very efficiently. And it is specialized in doing the mathematical tasks, metric operations, and also better performance for AI and the ML applications than the CPU. Okay, guys, NPU means the neural processing unit. Neural processing unit. TPU and NPU. Guys, TPU means it is one of the example for NPU. Okay. Google made their own NPU. Google made their own neural processing unit. That is called tensor processing unit. Why they have built up the tensor processing unit? Because they have built the TensorFlow library to do the deep learning task. To make their task easier, they have made their own hardware. That is called, what is that? Tensor processing unit. The same way Alibaba has done Ali NPU, and Intel has implemented IQ. Like that way, the neural processing units available, and there is a neural processing unit called FPGA that is also can be used for the deep learning task. But when you are considering the deep learning task, most famous one is this Google TPU. Okay, so far, does it sound good? Guys, give a comment. Otherwise, I don't know whether you understood these things or not. Okay, because I want to go from the very basic level, because some guys, they do not know anything about these things. So after, because this is a step-by-step approach, then I think you can be a better ML engineer. Guys, give your comments. The YouTube guys and the Zoom guys, are you there? Are you there? Are you available? Give a comment whether you understood these things or not. Are there any complications? Guys, talk, please. Hello, are you there? Otherwise, I will ask questions if you are not responding. There. So far, all good, good. All the other guys, Gihan, Gobison, Isha, I am Ganan. Very nice name. I am Ganan. Okay. Yam Ganan. Is that Yam Ganan? Right. Rusiru, yeah, going well. Right. Very good, guys. Okay, now the big picture. Now, this is, you know, that in machine learning, what we are actually doing, we are developing or we are implementing artificial intelligence application, AI application. Whatever we are building is an AI application. Remember that one. AI application. We are building an AI application. To make that AI application, we have to have the knowledge of a core technique. That core technique is called the machine learning. This machine learning, it also having the compact specialized knowledge that is called the deep learning. Okay, that means to build up the AI application, you have to have the knowledge of machine learning, or you have to have the knowledge of deep learning. Okay, now as an example, building a driverless vehicle means it is an AI application. Okay, how to build that driverless vehicle? Now, these days, the CEMU and the Stanford universities, they are figuring out the driverless vehicles. The very, what we call the trustworthy driverless vehicles, they are trying out it in the faraway area in the USA at the long distances. Okay, very long distances, and they have asked the people to get away from there. Now they have checked by drones how is the driving methodology of those two jeeps. Okay, one GP is implemented by the CMU, and the other one is the Stanford. So far, they have driven very well after without knocking with the barriers. Okay, turning from the junctions like that way, and also it has has a certain average speed, not like a very high speed, but normal average speed, like 80 kilometers, that speed they are driving the vehicles. So, but those things, they didn't put it to the industry, still it is going with the research level. After having a very confidence only, they will be releasing that one. Those things we can consider as the AI application. How to do those things? We want to now just imagine how to do that. Now it is a research, PhD research. It is a PhD research. So how to implement that one? So you want to understand how this machine figure out what is a barrier. So have to have some sensors. So you have to have the computer vision. Okay, those things, and also the what we call the position sensors. GPS, and also you want to have like the conditions of the road, the wheel sensors, all of those things you should have. Okay, and also the distance monitoring system also should be included. Load of things there. Okay, the big projects. Okay, but before to think about those big projects, you have to think it a very simple way. Okay, then only you want to go understanding all of those basics, right, guys? Here we'll see, we have to first figure out, guys, the human intelligence versus the artificial intelligence. Okay, now this human intelligence and the artificial intelligence, when this comes, okay, the first question arised in the engineers was, how does how do we allow the machine to mimic as human? The biggest problem was that one. So they have understood like human brain is a fantastic thing. Okay, human brain is a fantastic thing. Okay, why that? After that, they have understood that is because of the neurons. We have billions of neurons. Okay, because of that billions of neurons, we can easily capture something. We can easily understand something, and also we have a special knowledge called the imagination power, the creativity we are having. Okay, and also we are having we can recognize the patterns. Okay, we can do some IQ tasks. Okay, and also the emotional quotient also we are having. Like if you are having a quarrel with your girlfriend, okay, if you're keeping arguing and going, after that certain extent you will understand she will I'm exceeding her limits. After exceeding this one, this is not good for my health. Okay, like that we understand by the emotions. Okay, now if you are in a certain group, okay, if you are having like a quarrel with somebody, we are not keep on arguing. Where after a certain limit, we understood that we should not do like that. We understand that. So that is the emotional quotient. And also creativity, the new invention methodologies, the out-of-box thinking we are having. But do machines do all of those things? No, guys, machine cannot do the creativity part still. Okay, if machine will get that ability, that means we will be facing a big troubles. Normally, the earlier days films, movies, the machine learning engineers, they got the concept from the movies. That's why I'm asking you to watch movies. Okay, they got the concept from the movies actually. After that, they think whether we can implement this one, and after that, if we consider like early days movies and the new inventions of the AI, that has certain similarity. Okay, what can you say about the transformers there? So it also can happen if we allow these machines to have the creativity part. What will happen there? Machines can do their own inventions. Okay, by their creativity, they can generate some. Okay, they can generate a new weapon also. So then they can make us a conflict. Okay, if it like that. Okay, still that thing doesn't happen. Now, how these things, if we consider about our day machines, only this part is we can do, like the pattern recognition. The pattern recognition is a very intelligent thing. Pattern recognition, like now the human also have the ability called the pattern recognition. Like by seeing two people, you can understand, hey, this one is a good guy, this one is a bad guy, this one is just a talkative guy, just he can't do anything, like that. You can understand. Okay, this guy has only one. Okay, he is just a useless fellow, like that. He can you can understand. Okay, you can understand the real person and the fake person. You have the pattern recognition. That's why industry also understand whether you are a eligible person for this post, this position or not. Pattern recognition. Okay. So guys, the scope of the artificial intelligence is the pattern recognition. So far we are doing this one in the machine learning concepts. What we are doing, we are recognizing patterns. We are not going to the what we call the imagination or the creativity. Right, guys, the AI evolution. I told in 1901, okay, 1901, the principal component analysis. It is a statistical method. Okay, it is a statistical method. By having millions of data, you can filter some amount of data. You are narrowing down the data set, but you are not removing. You are squeezing the data set. Understand? Principal component analysis means squeezing the data. That's it. How do we squeeze the data? Then you have to understand. How do you squeeze the data? Data has features. The first column, second column, third column. Okay. Take two columns and make one. And another two. Take those two and make one. By squeezing like that way, it will be allowing you to make the visualization, because you know that we can visualize like by having like the in the normal way, only by having 3 axes we can visualize X, Y, and Z. Okay, only 3 dimensions. Okay, so by having a lot of features, you can't visualize that. So by having this principal component analysis, you can make your data to a visualizing point. Okay, we are calling it as dimensional reduction. Okay, so the simplest answer that you can give, why we are using principal component analysis? To reduce the dimension. What do you call the reduce the dimension? We are reducing the features. Oh, we are squeezing the features. How do you use? Take 2 features and make it to 1. Give an example. Okay, guys, give an example. Okay, so very short example we'll take. House price prediction, guys. House price prediction. Okay. Now I want to predict the price of a house. So that I have the features called number of bathrooms. Okay, number of bathrooms, number of rooms. Okay, so features are available. Now just consider about number of bathrooms and number of rooms. Now those are 2 records. So sorry, 2 columns, 2 features. what I am doing now, by having those two features, I will squeeze them and make one. I give a name for that one. I will tell it as size of the square feet. That has the feature of those two. Size of the square feet. Square feet. This size of the square feet. Now, this is the size of the square feet. Okay. It has the common feature of the number of bathrooms. It has the feature of the rooms as well. Okay. Now consider like this way. If you are having two rooms with like their consider about their square feet, and the rooms also having the square feet, by having combining all of those things, you are making that new feature called new feature called what is that? Size of square. Okay, now you don't want to think about the number of bathrooms and the number of rooms. Okay. That is a good example for principal component analysis. Right, guys. Then the concept of the perceptron, guys. 1958. Okay, this is the beginning of the deep learning, guys. Okay, what we are doing in the deep learning, guys? We are building the neural network, something called the neural network. That means it is the artificial way of implementing our neuron. Okay, ANN, artificial neural network. This is the fundamental of the artificial neural network. Okay, then fuzzy sets, fuzzy logic. Have you heard about the fuzzy logic? Fuzzy logic is the logic which has come prior to the machine learning. It is like this way. The fuzzy logic is the statistical method, guys. Now, in the Boolean algebra, we know we have only two states, either 1 or 0. The Boolean logic is 1 or 0. The fuzzy logic, one computer scientist told that you can't have always 1 and 0. That means Boolean algebra states always the results will be either 1 or 0. But what about 0.9? It is closer to the 1. 0.1 closer to the 0. That means there are some levels which are not always 0 and 1, the real numbers. The fuzzy logic explains about those real values or the availability of the real values. Right. And after that, they have developed the perceptron. Okay. Then the something called the self-organization map, SOM. Okay. By using this what's called SOM is the starting the funda to the unsupervised learning. Backpropagation, that is the next stage of the neural network, that is in 1986. And these things, our machine learning techniques, decision tree, that is in 1993. Support vector machine, guys, 1995. Is very important algorithms in machine learning. Random forest. One of the guys, I think, asked a question. He has got an error for the random forest. That is a one interesting error. So I want to make a special video related to that one. If that guy is available here, I will make a video for which benefits all of the others. Convolutional neural network, guys, CNN. I told that this CNN is very much used for one special type of scenario. Tell me, guys, text or write in the YouTube live here, what is that scenario? Why we are using CNN, convolutional neural network, for what type of scenarios? Guys, quickly. Hello, guys. Deep learning is the technique. I'm asking, what is the scenario? CNN, what is the scenario? What type of things? What type of methods we are using? Deep learning is, yeah, true, very well. CNN is deep learning techniques. For what type of deep learning? Yes. Anshanka, good. Image processing? Yes. Image processing. Yeah, good. Right. Then the random forest, guys, random forest is we are calling ensample learning. That means by combining decision tree with the bagging methodology, we can generate this random forest. Random forest means it is the collection of trees, collection of decision trees, random by combined with another algorithm. CNN is there, and fast learning for deep nets 2006, and the greedy layer, and after that AlexaNet 2012. Right. Now we'll see what is this difference between the machine learning versus the fuzzy logic. Guys, machine learning is a technique, but in this technique, we are using the logic called the fuzzy logic. Fuzzy logic is a process. It is a methodology. Okay. It is a methodology about uncertainty. Okay. Availability. It will be here, like. Just get to a simple idea. It will be mentioning, fuzzy logic mentioning some kind of a real value, real number value. Okay, guys, main task of AI. Now, our main target is to build some applications. What are the applications that we are allowed to build? What are the AI applications? One thing is the classification. That means making into some known output. Okay, making into some known labels, categories. Making into some known category labels. I will come to that. Huh? And the estimation, the predict, as an example, house price prediction. The classification, the good example is dog and cat classification. Just get one example, then it will be easy you to understand. Classification means dog and cat classification, because we know that what are the outputs we are getting. In a classification, you have to know what are the outputs you are getting. Okay, that is called the classification. What are the output that you are getting? As an example, dog and cat. The prediction or the estimation, house price prediction. We are getting the output as house price. In the search, the filter in something. As an example, Google search. Optimization. You are increasing the level of the accuracy. Here, we will using genetic algorithms for optimization. Okay, but optimization is not related to the machine learning, but related to the AI. Okay, optimization is not related to the machine learning. That, as an example, there is an algorithm called genetic algorithm. That genetic algorithm is not relevant to machine learning, but it is relevant to AI. Optimization is a part of AI. Inference means getting new knowledge, identifying patterns, and getting new knowledge. Guys, all of these things are approximations, because in software engineering, you can get the exact result. By programming something, you can get the exact result. But here, you can't get the exact result. But when your data is limited, you can get the 100% accuracy. Okay, like as an example, my simple program of addition, you can get the 100% accuracy because very limited data. But when there is a millions of data, you can't get the exact output, but you can get the very high accuracy according to where you are training. Guys, here this drawn diagram. Here, all the parts of the AI and ML I have drawn here. Here, guys, the first one, you have to have a logic. Okay, logic. This logic is generated by the decision trees or any other algorithms, and the fuzzy logic. Logic can have like these formats. So the earlier way, decision trees, and the fuzzy logic. And also statistics and the probability. The reinforcement learning means, guys, it is more related to the robotics. Reinforcement learning, it is a part of the learning methodologies, And normally, the very important of this reinforcement learning, you do not want to have initial data. You should not have initial data. It will grasp the data. It will take the data from the environment from scratch and learn. Okay. Therefore, we can use this reinforcement learning for making intelligent devices like robots. Then you want to have classifiers. There are certain algorithms for the classification algorithms. Encoding, that means the PCA and the dimensional reduction techniques. And the artificial neural network, there we are using this SOM things. And also the deep learning thing also available in the neural networks. And this one, this is the optimization parts. Guys, there we are using the genetic algorithms and something called the swarm. Okay. This swarm, guys, it is out of this box. That means it is not the half of way it is related to the AI. Okay. Now, our scope is the machine learning, guys. Here, see the red color boundary. There, I have omitted this optimization. The genetic algorithms, it is irrelevant to us. And in the logic, we are taking this decision trees based algorithms. Okay, decision trees, support vector machines, and the logistic regressions, those things we are taking. These fuzzy logic things, it is not a part of the ML. Reinforcement learning, statistical methods, principal component analysis, and the deep neural things, those are relevant to us. Okay. That means, guys, deep learning is a subset of the machine learning. That's why it is also related to this one. Okay. In the deep learning, guys, the dog and the cat. What do you remember? Dog and the cat? One algorithm. Can you tell me what is that algorithm? When you just call dog and cat, guys, what is that algorithm? Deep learning algorithm. The famous deep learning algorithm. Tell me, guys. Hello. Okay, CNN, good. Right. In ML, we have to provide the features. What is the difference between deep learning and the machine learning? Machine learning, guys, you have to feed the features. What is it? We are giving the data set, isn't it? And from that data set, you have to tell these features you have to get. As an example, to figure out the dog, I said, dog has hair. Okay. Cat doesn't has hair. Cat has beard. Okay, I don't know the names of these things, so I will tell like that. Cat has beards. A dog also has beards, but small beard, mustak. Like dog eyes are like a human. Cat's eye is not like a human. Okay, this is the way I am figuring out the features. Okay, this is not the exact way. Like that, you can feed the features. These are the features. Okay, from that data set, these are the features you have to consider. What about deep learning? If you're using CNN, you are not going to feed the features like that. Then the system itself identify the features. That is a wonder about this deep learning, guys. Okay, in deep learning, you do not want to provide the features. The features are detected by the system. Okay, that means the machine, it will identify by filtering large sets of data, they will detect. This is the way I want to understand. This is a dog. This is a cat. Right? So, guys, if you want to apply a deep learning algorithm, very important, guys, you have to have large amount of data. Okay, don't go for always a deep learning algorithm. If you do not have large set of data, you can't go for the deep learning. You can go, but you are getting a very low accuracy. In some cases, if we are getting low accuracy from a deep learning algorithm, that means the sufficient of data is not enough. Data is insufficient. But if you're having like millions or more than 1 lakh data, you can think about the deep learning. Okay. For normal applications, for the industry normal applications, machine learning, traditional machine learning algorithm is very much suited, because like the for social media things, those are the big data giants. Okay. So that type of things, always you want to have what we call deep learning techniques. As an example, for that TikTok position, because TikTok is used by billions of people. Okay, they are having the petabytes of data. Therefore, you want to go for like deep learning. But if you just imagine like banking applications in Sri Lanka, or in here, if you want to go for a position in Sri Lankan Airlines, or the bank, finance, or relevant to local market thing, you don't want to know about the deep learning, because the traditional machine learning is very much sufficient for those things. Okay, if you have enough data, you can go for deep learning things. Okay, in the ML model, accuracy, a very important thing, guys. Now, how do you make the accuracy of the machine learning or the deep learning model? You want to train. You want to train the model by having the data. But just imagine you are having some sort of data, and you are training your machine learning model. And now you are having a large amount of data. Now, having large amount of data, the accuracy will be increased. But in a machine learning model, after some extent, there onwards, the accuracy will be stabilized. After that, you won't be having high accuracy, the stable accuracy. But deep learning, it is not like that way. By having large amount of data, your accuracy will be increased. It doesn't go to a stable status. Okay, that is one difference. Okay, the graph is like this. Now this is for the machine learning, normal traditional machine. When the data is increased after some level, after this level, the performance will be stable. But deep learning, it will be increased. Okay, guys. Now we will come to the types of machine learning. But remember, these categories, how I am dividing these things, how I am going to make these types based on some logic. What is that logic? Based on the amount of the supervision needed. Based on the amount of the supervision needed, guys. According to the supervision needed, you can classify them as supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning, and the reinforcement learning. 4 things: supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and reinforcement learning. For the what we call the other guys, the data science guys, in the some kind of modules, you are having supervised learning, unsupervised learning, but these two are not that relevant. But the IoT and SC guys, they are having the reinforcement learning also, the small portion of the reinforcement learning that is also available there, right? And you have to have a general idea of all of these 4. Okay, then only you can select the best model, right? We'll see. Okay, if we consider about these types of machine learning, basically I'll consider about this supervised and unsupervised. Supervised, guys, mainly it will be divided into 2 things. Supervised, remember guys, this is the most important thing. Supervised can be divided into most important 2 things. One thing is called the regression, and other thing is the classification. Only these 2. Supervised means either regression or the classification. Just that. Supervised means regression and classification. Unsupervised. Oh, yeah. How do you identify supervision? Supervised? Guys. Supervised means you know the inputs, you know what is your provided. That means you know the data set. Again, my simple data set. See, guys, you know the inputs X, Y, and also you know the output. You know the input, you know the output. Well, this is supervised learning. If you know what you are gaining as the output, okay, in the data set, if you know what is the exact output that you are getting, what is the name of the output, if you are familiar with that, that means it is a supervised learning. Okay, right. So that supervised learning can be divided into regression and the classification. Unsupervised learning, guys, what is that? Again, guys, you do not know what is this exactly. Okay, there is no label for that. If you are getting some kind of apples, okay, it is like a black box thing. There are some things, okay, there are some things there. One cluster, one group is available. There is another group is available, but you do not know actually what is that. That means you means the machine. Machines does not know what is this one, what is this group. You can manually figure out, this is apple. But machine does not know that is apple. But they are, by identifying those features in the supervised learning, they know what is that. But unsupervised learning, they do not know what is that group. They know only, I can figure out some groups. Okay, I can figure out groups, but you have to identify what are those groups. I don't know the label. Machine says, I don't know the label. You have to manually figure out what are those labels. But supervised, I will provide you the label as well because I know the labels. As an example, cat dog classification, guys, tell me, supervised or unsupervised? Tell me, guys. Cat dogs classification, supervised or unsupervised? If it is supervised, just put S. Unsupervised, just put U. Okay, good. Then house price prediction. Tell me, guys, is it a supervised or unsupervised? House price prediction. House price prediction. House price prediction, guys. Remember, guys, you know the output because you know the price. That means it is a supervised. Okay, supervised. Right? Okay. Then anomaly detection. Anomaly detection. That means there is some kind of abnormality. There is a general data pattern, but there is an anomaly. Okay. And the association. I will come to this one because in the next slides, those are explained. Okay, and I have explained more in more detail here. The unsupervised learning mainly classified into dimensional reduction and clustering, and some examples for these things. Supervised learning classification and the regression. Identify supervised learning means classification and the regression. The reinforcement learning also divided into some parts like this way, but mainly those things related to robotics. Okay, guys, now I'm going to explain you what is this supervised learning. Okay, here I have get a one interesting example. How the interviewers are going to interview you. The machine learning techniques. Candidates IQ, candidates CGPA, and whether you are pass or fail the placement. Okay, if your IQ level is 135 and your CGPA is 3.7, you pass. That's there, getting like that. 123, that is the data set. Okay? 3.3 pass. 96, 3.5 fail. 148, 2.7 pass. 3.7 pass, but here fail. That is the data set. Okay, by seeing this data set, you can say there are some categorical values, not a numerical value, pass and fail. Okay, guys? And you know what is this output? Pass and fail, you know. You know what are the outputs. Pass, you are getting pass and fail. Only those two. That means you know the output. If you know the output, that means it is a supervised learning. Now, my question is, what is this thing? Is that classification or regression? Guys, the simple thing you want to understand, if it is a categorical data, that means not a numerical data, or numerical discrete value, that means like 1 and 0, not a real value now. If it is a categorical data means just like text values, okay, not numbers. Or numerical discrete value. Numerical discrete values mean 1 or 0, not continuous value. Continuous values means decimal values. We can say that it is a classification problem. What is that? You are getting the output as a discrete numerical or categorical value. Then it is what? It is what? Classification. Okay. Okay. So I have divided this one, regression and the classification. Here the classification, categorical data or the numerical discrete values. What is this regression? Regression means, guys, continuous numerical data. It should satisfy the both things. Should be continuous and also it should be numerical value. Like 1.7, like that is the house price prediction. Good example. Getting one output from one or multiple attributes. That means now having some features, but you are getting only one thing. Room, a number of rooms, number of bathrooms. By considering those things, you are getting the house price. Okay. And the classification, you will be getting 2 or more outputs. I think you got the basic idea about that. Right, examples for regression and classification. Regression, stock price prediction, any numerical thing, house price detection, maximum revenue generation, and those things are regression programs. Classification, anything which are classified, but have to have the label data. That means you have to know the output. Okay, you have to know the output. Email spam classification, credit card fraud detection. Guys, tell me what is this problem? I am now telling one of the new thing. Okay, I am doing a research. After that research, I want to get the output as left, right, forward, and backwards. Left, right, forward, and backwards. Tell me whether it is a supervised thing. If it is a supervised thing, what is the, whether it is a regression or classification? Give me the answers. Give me the answers, guys. I want to get the outputs as left, right, forward, and backward. Everybody, type. Guys, type. Yes, it is supervised classification. Good. Okay, I will be getting the answers as 1, 2, 3, 4. Guys. I want to get the answers as 1, 2, 3, 4. I know that I am getting 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me what is that? Tell me what is that? I want to get the answers as 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it is also classification. Because why? Discrete values. Okay, discrete values. Okay, you understood about that. Okay, then we'll move to the unsupervised thing. Unsupervised, we can make them as the clustering, dimensional reduction, anomaly detection, and the association rule mining. Oh, remember this one. no labeled output data. What is available? Only input data. What is available? Only input data. Some guys, they are misunderstanding like deep learning with unsupervised learning. Okay. Some guys think like if it is deep learning, that means it is always unsupervised. No, 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 no. Deep learning means it is a subset of the what? Machine learning. It also having the same process. Deep learning techniques also having supervised learning and unsupervised. As an example, guys, tell me, I told that dog classification we are using convolutional neural network. Is that supervised or unsupervised? We are using deep learning. Is that supervised or unsupervised? Tell me, guys. We are using CNN for image classification. Is that supervised or unsupervised? I meant dog and cat classification. Yeah, that is supervised. Okay, so you do not mess up with the deep learning with the unsupervised. Okay, the deep learning also have the same process, supervised and unsupervised. But the main thing you want to understand in unsupervised learning, you are not you do not have labeled out. Okay, only input is available. Right. Clustering. It is something. Clustering means simply making into groups, but no labels. As an example, okay, I want to promote this AI car to all. Okay, because I want to generate dollars to the country by recruiting you in foreign what we call the companies. Okay, because you know that you can work from here with by having some set of skills. Actually, that is my main target. Okay, you can work with companies in USA, Canada companies. You can work. Okay, very convenient. Because now tomorrow morning I will be teaching to 2 PhD graduates. One thing is doing the forensics. He is a chemistry graduated. Now he is doing PhD forensics, I think, because for his research he wants to know about the machine learning tasks. Okay, I asked what is the time for you? There is a gap between us. There are 7 means. Our next day 4:30. That means I have to, after finishing this one, I have to again wake up at 4:30 and I have to teach the same. Okay. I am doing like that because I want to have a big community. Okay. To have a big community, you have to you have to dedicate some kind of effort. Okay, that means you can manage the time and you can do a lot of things if you have the skill set, right? Okay, guys. Okay, but my example was if we I want to promote this class to the whole world. Okay, make an algorithm. Okay, make algorithm. That algorithm, what is doing? Okay, it will group some kind of communities. Okay, group according to identify some similar patterns. By identifying some similar patterns, it will make groups, but no labels. I have to manually identify. This is the American group. Okay, this is the USA, Canada group, like that. Now, like this, the scholarships. Okay, you know that for Sri Lanka, the fully funded scholarships is some kind of band is available now, and also by having a high degree of skill set, you can have those things because it is coming under the global constitutions. Like now, when giving fully funded scholarships, they are giving the big universities. They are providing it for the constitution wisely. Like India, it will provide 7. USA, it will provide like 20. Australia, they will provide like 9. the constitutions. Now, Sri Lanka, it doesn't belong to India. India is the one constitution. Sri Lanka, after classifying everything, like suppose like 200 fully funded scholarships, then you are having like remaining is 194. Another 6 is remaining. That 6 belong to the global. Among the global, they will select those 6. They were very difficult task. Okay, like that, those constitutions also generated by the automatic process. Okay, right. But it has a label like that way. But if you group something like that way, okay, and identify it manually, okay, this is the global constitution. I am identified that one. That means it is clustering. Clustering means groups without label. Then, guys, dimensional reduction. Okay, dimensional reduction means you know that one algorithm is used for that one. Not the algorithm, actually, it is a technique. What is the technique used for dimensional reduction, guys? 3 English letters. Tell me what is that? 3 English letters. What is that? What is the algorithm? Not the algorithm. What is the technique? What is the technique for dimensional reduction, guys? If you have attention properly, you know that. Okay, very good. That's the PCA, Principal Component Analysis. Very good, Hisha. Right. Okay, reduce the dimensionality we are using, Principal Component Analysis. Then, guys, anomaly detection. Anomaly detection. That means identifying outliers. There is a certain patterns. What one thing is, it has a very peak level. We can identify it is an anomaly. Like that way, guys. Okay? Like that way. If you're applying for the fully funded scholarship, I want to tell this one because I don't want to hide these things. I don't want to hide these things only with me. Okay, I want to share this one because I believe by sharing these things only, I will be rewarding more. If you want to get the fully funded scholarship from Sri Lanka, you have to show a anomaly. That means there is a certain patterns like that, like this. First classes available. Okay. If you consider like first classes, there are a load of first classes. Like India, it will be having thousands of universities. It will be having load of first classes. Then you can have the research, nice research, and also research plus the first class plus any other things. Like something is you want to figure out that one. We can call it as a moonshot thing. Something moonshot, like a remarkable application, something like that. If you generate like that, you will be highlighting as a peak point. Okay. So, guys, anomaly, right? So, as an example, the fraud detection. Okay. Now the cash transactions are going on. But if you identify like this way, there is a now suppose like your credit card has stolen by somebody, and after that you are getting a message for your phone. There is a fraud transaction. Can you confirm, please? That is a fraud detection. Why is that? You are normally getting like per weekly like 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees for your expenses. But here what has happened in somewhere like what is that large Majestic City. Majestic City, you have bought the one necklace for 200,000 rupees. When comparing your other transactions, this is an anomaly. Okay, guys. So this anomaly, then bank transactions, if they can identify this anomaly. Okay, not only that one, by figuring out some features, they can identify it as an anomaly. So this anomaly can be used for manufacturing, identify manufacturing defects, and also like for detection, something like that. Association rule learning, very much interesting thing. This one, guys, remember about your supermarket journey? You can see the nice racks available there. But did you imagine how these racks they have arranged? Now think like if you want to like arrange the way as your house is arranging, you can't do like that. Okay, your books self is arranging, not like that. There is a certain hierarchy to do that. That is called the association rule learning. By getting the data sets of the customers, the historical data sets of the customers, and loading those things in the OLAPs, something related to data warehousing, they have identified by using past data, what is the pattern? What is the pattern of the buying ability of the customers? As an example, as an interesting example is the baby diaper plus the beer association. That is, Walmart has done an experiment research. Walmart is a big company. They are time to time they are announcing for machine learning engineers. By having good project experience, you also can apply. Okay, we'll try for that one also, guys. What they have done. They have done a research and identify like diapers and the beers. There is a relationship that has actually happened like that. Normally in the USA, normally those diapers are bought by not the mother, fathers. When the father, when he's doing a single shopping, he's taking the diaper, and after that, like feeling like I want to get a beer as well, like that. Taking like that. When the single fathers, when they are doing, they have bought that. Then there is a pattern. Everybody most of the single fathers have done like that. Now they want to encourage this one, okay, because supermarkets, they want to have the profits. Therefore, what they are doing, the buy-in psychology, they want to arouse this buy-in psychology. What they are doing, they want to put that diaper and also the beer also in a place which is close to the diaper. Then now when the person is going to buy the diaper, there's a beer also. I will take this one, right? Okay. Like that, there are certain relations. We are calling that thing as the association rule mind. Okay? And association rule then. All right. Okay, this anomaly detection example I have shown here. Here, a certain pattern here. So this cross is like, it is deviating from the other things. So this is anomaly. And here, a peak. The regular pattern is like this. Now, you should not think like this is also anomaly. It is not a vast difference. But this has a big difference. If you consider about the brain-computer interface, I don't know. I think you are not that familiar with the brain-computer interface, but I can give a simple example. Now, brain signals, by getting like brain has signals called the electroencephalography. By using this brain signals, you can interact with the computer and do machinery tasks. As an example, by thinking about this cursor, I can move the cursor to somewhere. Okay, and also if I see what we call the alphabet display here, by seeing the A or B, I can have a sharp focus on that letter. I can make a word like I love you, like that. I can make a sentence by figure out this is I. My focus level is going to I. Then my focus level is going to L. Like that, make that. Okay, now remember, like when I'm focusing to A, it will be given a peak value. From the regular signals, it will be given a focus level. Okay, by that anomaly only, you will be detecting that letter. Okay, that is the way it is related to the machine learning. Okay. Now we will move to the semi-supervised learning. Semi-supervised learning means like the both combination is available, supervised plus the unsupervised. Okay, this is in the academic level we are not that using, but in the industry level we are using this one because we can't always have the structured data. That means many of the data is unstructured. That means we are getting like unlabeled data. When there are unlabeled data, guys, okay, it is very difficult to find out the patterns there. So if there is some set of known data, that means supervised learning is available. By having those supervised learning things, okay, we can make a hypothesis. By having this set, we can make a some kind of prediction. Okay, then they can mix it with the unsupervised. That is called the semi-supervised learning. As an example, this COVID session, where the COVID cases prediction, that thing is use this technique called the semi-supervised, because we are not getting the whole data set of the COVID people. We are we got a set of some hospitalized supervised data, and by having that supervised data, we will mix it with the unsupervised data. I get in like that. In Google photo labeling, it is using this semi-supervised learning technique. How it is using? Now, suppose like you have labeled a photo called your father or your mother. Then all the photos which involve with your father, it will automatically name it as a father. This is mother, like that. Okay, that is called semi-supervised, because I think you practically got the experience of that one. Google photo labeling. Reinforcement learning, guys. Reinforcement learning is, I told, no data is available. Just get the example of the driverless car. Okay, do you think that the driverless car is driven by the data? No. When there is a barrier, first what they are doing, when getting a collision with the barrier, they have identified this is a collision, something I should not do. Try and error method. There are some things called rewarding and punishment. Okay, when they knock with something, they get in punishment. Okay, there are ways of giving punishment. Mark system. According to that, that's the way the robot is moving. Robot also moving like if there is a barrier, if it touches the barrier or close to the barrier, it will get a punishment. And if it navigate to the correct direction, it will get a reward. Okay, so this reinforcement learning is very much used in the robotic and the driverless technologies. Okay, that is the whole classification based on what, guys? I have classified as supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and the reinforcement learning, guys. But based on what? Text. Based on what? Based on guys. Based on interact, guys. Quickly, before we move to the next classification, tell me what is the basement for those things. Yeah. That's why I asked you to be attentive. Otherwise, the industry running and winning is not the easy task. So, guys, tell me, what is that? Based on what? And you have the slides also. Just watch and tell me. Based on the inputs and outputs. Yes, we can tell like that, but give a single word for that one. Yeah. Ravishma, good. Supervision. Supervision. Based on the supervision. Amount of the supervision. Good. Right, then the next basement is the based on production, or we can say based on the model training, based on the model training. Okay, based on the model training. Remember this one. Based on the model training or based on the production, we can classify as batch learning and the online learning. This is a very important thing when you move to the ML position. They will ask about you. Do you know batch learning? And what is the deployment process that you have used for implementing or deploy your project? Many of us are using what? Batch learning. Batch learning means actually it is the offline methodology. That means you are training the project or the model. You are training the model at regular intervals. Okay, at regular intervals. And after deploying, you are not training. Okay, just imagine like this. You are training, the simplest way of narrating this batch learning is, you are training only once. You are training only once. Okay. After that, you are deploying. After deploying, you are not training. But in some kind of regular intervals, again, you take this one, you are retrain, again deploy. Right? Again, like once a week, like that way, you are training. Or academic wisely, we are just deploying. After deploying, we are not training. Okay. That is called the batch learning. Batch learning means you have to train the model. That training process is done before the deployment. That is called batch learning. But it also can be done in the regular intervals also. But even you are doing it in the regular intervals, you are updating the thing and again deploy. After deploying, within those periods, you are not training. That is called the batch learning. Okay. Online learning means training happens in an incremental manner. That means this batch learning whole data, the total data you have to train. Wow, the big data. Think about that one, guys. There is a big data set. To deploy that one, you have to have a large storage. One thing, that one. And the second thing is what? Since you are using the total data set, it will take more time. The process is very slow. Okay, if it is a very large data set, the process is very slow. But online learning, what you can do, you can make into small pieces and incremental wisely you can deploy. Okay, incremental wisely you can train. Sorry, you can train incremental wisely. Small data sets you train and you deploy. Again, take small portion, take that one, train it and deploy. Take small part, train. Okay, this is happening all the time. So we call it as the online learning. Online learning. This model training is called online training. As an example, suppose like if you use this batch learning thing for the YouTube recommendations, you want to build up a recommendation system. Again, guys, one great example. If you want to go for ML engineer position, one of the biggest advantage that you can gain is having a recommendation system in your CV. Okay, because it is very well benefited to you. But not just a recommendation in the YouTube things, because you have to have your own features as well, right? Okay, guys. So the recommendation system, if you want to train by using batch learning, like today you trained the thing, okay, and after training process and those things you have taken like 3 days, or just take tomorrow you are deploying. Today you have trained, tomorrow you are deploying. Once you have deployed that one, this is one day has taken. But the YouTube if you put it to the recommendations, you are getting past records, 1 day past records. Okay, that is not the what we call real-time records. It is not the real-time records. That is not that good. But if it is like a stock market prediction, that type of scenario, because you know the house prices are not changing by like 1 day, 1 week like that. It is not happening like that. Okay, so that type of scenario you can use batch learning. Okay. So guys, the production means actually your project you are allowing to run in a server. Okay, that is the simplest way of explaining the production. That means the deployment. So the batch learning, the features you have to understand. The system learns only once, guys. Only once. You are trained only once, but you can train regular intervals. And the main thing, you have to use all the data sets available. All the data set, total data set you have to take for train the model. Takes more time to train. Now, since it is the total data set you are taking, it will take more time, guys. And this is offline process because you can do it your machine, and only for the deployment you can use the internet. And remember, train before being deployed. You have to train it before the deployment. But the online thing you can do dynamical. Okay, you are not deploying. You can deploy once it is deployed twice. After being deployed, no learning process. In batch learning, after being deployed, it is not learning. It is not dynamically learning. But online learning, it is dynamically, real-time learning. So this is the small architecture diagram for that one. You have the data, you train the algorithm and evaluate. And if there are some errors, again, you analyze the problem. Okay. Train the algorithm, then evaluate, you deploy, and what will happen? Learn. Okay. If it is an online thing, you are learning dynamically. New data is taken and the deployment process, it will be learned. But it is batch learning. What will happen? Data is taken, train the algorithm, evaluate, deploy. After deploy, it doesn't learn. Okay. After deploy, it doesn't learn. This is the process. Okay. If it is error, you can move to this level, go ahead. But online, this is the process. You are learning dynamically. New data, with the new data also you are learning. And another important thing, guys, this batch learning task is very easy. But online training, you want to have some libraries. Normally for machine learning purposes, we are using scikit-learn, sklearn, we are using that. But this sklearn is very well suited for batch learning, but it is not good for online learning. For online learning, you want to use special type of libraries. One thing is this river, and the new researchers also have developed some libraries. Okay, that is for online learning process. That is one disadvantage. Okay? And also the online learning, you want to have one special parameter as well. You want to understand this parameter that is called the learning rate. According to the learning rate, if it is a small learning rate, okay, it will be slowly learning. Okay, it will be, if you are having a large learning rate, it will be very fast forwardly learning, and it will exceed the real learning process as well. As an example, it will learn from the unnecessary data as well. So this fixing out the exact learning rate is very much important in online learning. One disadvantage is this one also, because you want to fix the learning rate properly. If you consider about the differences, I have figured out this table. The complexity is very high in the online learning. Offline learning complexity is low, it is less complexity. You want to have a high computational power for online learning. offline learning you don't want. The production wisely, this will be used for like when we consider about like the real-time applications like Netflix, which is taking the real-time data, you can use this one. That is the application part. That for the normal things, you can use the offline learning or the batch learning. Production wisely, if you say that harder to implement, this online learning, you want to have the specialized knowledge, but offline learning or the batch learning, you don't want to have a specialized knowledge. Okay, some drawbacks in the batch learning. What are those drawbacks? Expensive. Why that expensive? Is that expensive? Yeah, because for large data sets, it will be time consuming and storage, high storage needed to have, and also time consuming. One great disadvantage is it is not fast, time consuming. And also the availability, because this is the past data recommendations or the past data things available, and not the real-time things available. So it is not available always. It is not available always. But online learning, these disadvantages are not available, but very special types of disadvantages are available. The continuous monitoring is needed, because if you do not monitor properly, it will take unnecessary data as well. Okay, so therefore, the continuous monitoring mechanism is needed for this one. And I told that river-like libraries, because scikit-learn is not very much suit for this one. So you want to have additional libraries. And also there is a high risk because it is in the online platform. Any adversaries can attack for this one. And also the continuous monitoring is needed. And it can learn from unnecessary things as well. So those are the risk part of that. So I will give a small question, guys. What learning type would you apply for this one? The YouTube recommendation system and also the house price prediction system. For the first one, what is the answer? Is that batch? You can put B. Is that online? You can put O. One, put 1. If it is O, you can put O. If it is batch, you can put B. 2, if it is O, you can put O. If it is batch, you can put B. Guys, comment. Quickly, everybody, comment. Okay, YouTube recommendation, guys. What is that? It is online. And the house prediction? It is batch. Okay, guys, very good, everybody. So the answer, YouTube recommendation, it is online learning, and house prediction, it is batch learning. Okay, we have finished at the sharp time, guys. Okay, any doubts, any difficulties? Okay, this is the first day, and we'll go according to the time schedule, and also we will be going according to the verse syllabus, and we'll do a nice job. Only thing is, you won't, it is very difficult, guys. Okay, difficult means be attention in a live environment like online class. It's very difficult. But to have the success, to have your the success in your life, you want to do some dedications. That's the way I have done my parts. I have rewarded a lot of things because of that dedication. Okay, we also have to do the researchers and academic stuff, but we have to have a special target. But to reach the target, you have to have the dedication. I think you have to get that point as well. Any suggestions? Any comments? Did you understand these things? And remember to mark the attendance. Put it in the YouTube. Okay, give a meaningful comment, and also remember to put the like. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this one. Before that, tell me whether you have understood this one or not. I think I am ready for the criticism. I have already shared the slides in the WhatsApp group. If you didn't get that one, I will ask again to reshare that one. If you have newly joined this one, I will reshare that one again. Any comments? First of all, tell me like whether you understand this one or not. Many of guys tell me. How about the session? Did you understand this one? Hello guys, are you there? My voice is so clear. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Is it it's a great session. Thanks. Thanks. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. Then we'll wind up the session and we'll meet at the next day. If I want to do another session in the middle of those sessions, I will inform you to the WhatsApp group. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, so with me, we'll do a nice job then. Bye.